All right, college football and stuff here. It is week 13 of the college football season, Thanksgiving week. I will be covering all of the Group of Five and Independents playing this week. Hope you're having a great holiday week and a nice, safe one if you're traveling. And we'll get right into it. All right, starting off, we have one game being played on Thanksgiving this week. Thursday at 7, New Mexico at Utah State. New Mexico, a 6.5-point favorite. Neither of these teams have been great, but Utah State really has not been playing well. They have been getting blown away. I am going to take New Mexico minus the 6.5. It's just under a touchdown. Don't think New Mexico is great, but I think with that spread, the way the Utah State games have been going, I think New Mexico can cover that. Moving on to Friday. First up, we have UMass at Liberty, 12 o'clock on ESPN3. I am expecting this to be a bloodbath. UMass has not played well. Liberty has been a good team, has some good Power 5 wins. Of course, lost their first game last week, a really close game though. Liberty a 38-point favorite in this game, which is a ton of points. I am going to take Liberty though. That's going to be a tough spread to cover just by the sheer number of points. I think Liberty has a chance of doing it. I'm taking them minus the points. UCF at South Florida, 3:30 on ESPN. UCF a 25-point favorite. South Florida has not been great. UCF has been pretty good, not as good as they were a few years ago, but still a good team. I'm going to take UCF minus the 25 points. I would like that really a lot more. Just a tiny bit lower, just under 24 points. South Florida has been not great. At 25, you're really looking at closer to UCF having to win by 4 touchdowns, so we'll see how that goes. Wyoming at UNLV, 4 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Wyoming a 16.5-point favorite. And I've been pretty impressed with Wyoming. That's a decent amount of points, but I think Wyoming's a pretty good team. Give me Wyoming minus the 16.5 there. Central Michigan at Eastern Michigan, 4 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. Central Michigan a 7-point favorite. I have liked Central Michigan. I don't think Eastern Michigan is as good as Western Michigan, which is who Central Michigan played last week. I think a 7-point spread is right about where it should be. Give me Central Michigan minus the 7 points there. Moving on to Saturday. First up, Northern Illinois at Western Michigan, 12 o'clock on ESPN+. Western Michigan a 20-point favorite. Northern Illinois has not been great. Western Michigan has been pretty good, just under 3 touchdowns. Give me Western Michigan minus the 20 points there. Bowling Green at Ohio, 12 o'clock on ESPNU. Bowling Green, another team that has not been playing great. Ohio, the Bobcats, they've been decent, not amazing, but Bowling Green has not been playing well. 24.5 points is a bunch of points. Again, I would really like this a lot more, just under 24 points, but Bowling Green has been getting blown out. Ohio blew out the one really not great team that they played, so I know they can score points against a lesser team. I'm going to take Ohio minus the 24.5. Kent State at Buffalo, 12 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. Both of these pretty decent teams. Buffalo a 7.5-point favorite though. I have liked Kent State so far this year. The spread is just over a touchdown. I'm going to take Kent State plus the points. I think Buffalo has a good shot of winning this game, but I think they win by a touchdown if they win. Ball State at Toledo, 12 o'clock on ESPN3. Toledo, a 9.5-point favorite. I think Toledo is decent. Spreads under 10 points. Touchdown and a field goal, I think, is reasonable. Give me Toledo minus the 9.5. SMU at East Carolina, 12 o'clock on ESPN+. East Carolina has done okay this year. SMU an 11.5-point favorite, and SMU's sort of been up and down. They had a really close game to start off the year. They've got some good wins. They've played close. They've lost a few games. I do think they're a better team than East Carolina. Again, this is another one where the spread is just the other side of where I would really want it to be. If this was 9.5, I would feel super comfortable in it. I'm going to take SMU minus the 11.5, though. Georgia Southern at Georgia State. I think this is going to be an excellent game. I've liked both of these teams. That's 12 o'clock on ESPN3. Georgia Southern is a 2-point favorite. And I am going the other way. I'm taking Georgia State plus the points. I think Georgia State can win it straight out. I think this is going to be a very fun game to watch. I'm going to enjoy that game. UTEP at Rice, 1 o'clock on ESPN3. Rice, an 11.5-point favorite. UTEP has not been great. They haven't been as bad as I think they were expected to be, but not great. I'm going to take Rice minus the 11.5. Miami, Ohio at Akron, 1 o'clock ESPN3. Miami, Ohio, a 14.5-point favorite. Again, just the other side of where I would like that spread to be. Would like it a lot more just under 2 touchdowns, but Akron has not been playing well. They have been getting blown away. I think Miami, Ohio can get it done, can win by 17 points probably at least. I'm going to take Miami, Ohio minus the 14.5 there. Coastal Carolina at Texas State, 3 o'clock on ESPN+. Been super high on Coastal Carolina. Now, Texas State has played a bunch of teams, a bunch of good teams, really close. But man, Coastal Carolina, a 17-point favorite. I really liked Coastal Carolina. I'm going to take them minus the points. I'm a little bit worried about that game just because of how Texas State hasn't won a bunch of games, but they've played good teams competitively. They've been competitive in those games. But I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina minus the 17. I've really liked Coastal Carolina. Louisiana at Louisiana Monroe, 3 o'clock on ESPN3. Louisiana, a 28.5-point favorite. This was tough. ULM has been very up and down. They've played some really close games. It's at Monroe. But I really was not sure what to do with this one. I wish this was under 28 points. Over 4 touchdowns is a complete blowout. I am going to take Monroe plus the 28.5. If this was 27.5, I would probably take Louisiana. But give me Louisiana Monroe plus those 28.5. North Texas at UTSA, 3 o'clock, no TV on this game. North Texas has not been great. Really liked watching UTSA play. They've been competitive in a bunch of games. They've kept it close. They've won a few games for me. I've been picking them plus points a whole bunch. Only a 3-point favorite. I'm going to take UTSA minus the 3 points. All right, South Alabama at Arkansas State, 3 o'clock on ESPN3. Arkansas State, a 6.5-point favorite. Now, both of these teams coming off losses. South lost pretty big in a game I wanted them to keep close. Arkansas State, though, lost against a not great team. It's at Arkansas State. The spread is less than a touchdown. Very tempted to take Arkansas State. I do think they get the win here, but I haven't been super impressed with Arkansas State at any point this year. I am going to take South plus the points. I may regret that. I have a feeling there. I think South gets it done. I think they either keep it close or maybe even get a win in that game. So give me South plus the 6.5. Florida Atlantic at Middle Tennessee, 3:30 on the CBS Sports Network. Florida Atlantic a 6.5 point favorite. I'm surprised that spread isn't higher. I think Florida Atlantic is a decent team. Give me that all day under a touchdown. I'm going to take FAU minus 6.5. San Jose State at Boise State, 4 o'clock on Fox. Boise State an 11.5 point favorite. Coming off of a game at Hawaii where Hawaii kept it pretty close. Lost by 8 points, but Boise State was a pretty big favorite in that game. I said it in the video, I knew I should have taken Hawaii plus the points. Night game, home, big underdog. Should have taken Hawaii. Didn't. That's okay. I'm going to take Boise State to cover here. I think San Jose State is a good team, but I'm just a little bit higher on Boise State. Again, a spread in an awkward spot. Would really like it just under 10 points, but it is what it is. I'm going to take Boise State minus the 11.5. Memphis at Navy, 7 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. Memphis a 13.5 point favorite, just under 2 touchdowns. I do think Memphis is pretty good. Navy has been sort of all over the place. I'm going to take Memphis minus the 13.5. Hate to pick against Navy, but I got to go with Memphis here. Troy at App State, 8 o'clock on ESPNU. App State a 14-point favorite. Troy is a team that I've wanted to like that just hasn't played great this year. App State has been looking pretty good. I think App State gets the win here. 14 points is a bad spot for a spread because it's very likely that it's going to be a push. I do think 14 is where where the points total is going to end up. I think App State wins by 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to take App State minus the 14, but I do think that game's going to end up being a push. Nevada at Hawaii, 11 o'clock, no TV. Nevada a 7-point favorite. I said earlier that I should have taken Hawaii last week. I'm going to go with Nevada again here. This may be a mistake. I may regret this again. But the spread is a lot smaller this time. I do think Nevada is a good team. Give me Nevada minus the 7 points. All right, that's it for all of the Group of Fives and Independents playing this week. Click the like button if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of these. I pick every single FBS game against the spread every week. I'm going to keep doing it. See you next time.